Hi YouTube. I finally have a free moment, so I thought I would get on and do my labor and delivery video. It went very smoothly, so this should not be a very long video at all. So to get right to it, last Monday I was supposed to go in and have my doctor's appointment, and then I was scheduled to be induced Tuesday morning. We had to be at the hospital at 5 o'clock in the morning. We go to the doctor's appointment, and like I said in my previous video, she walks in and says, "Sorry, we have bad news. We have to cancel your induction. The hospital has been overrun with people that are getting C-sections." So I was really bummed out, especially when she told me that the soonest that they could get me in was a week from then. So I was like, okay, you know, what can you do? Even if you get mad and disappointed, it's not going to change anything. So we left the doctor's office. We canceled our babysitter. It was actually my cousin that was watching them, and she lives 2 hours away. So she left, and we were just kind of getting prepared to either, you know, go into labor on my own within that week, or just wait until Monday, which I wasn't really wanting to do because the doctor had already estimated that the baby's weight was going to be about 8 pounds, so I was getting a little worried. So we went to sleep. Tuesday morning we woke up, and then it was about 11 o'clock. We got a phone call from the hospital, and they said, "We have a few people that left. We have some openings now. Would you like to come in and get induced?" So I was like, yeah, I do. Sorry, I'm holding the camera with my arm, and my arm's getting tired. So we had to rearrange everything, find a different babysitter, get everything resituated, and we left here. I think it was about 11:40. The hospital that I delivered at is like 45 minutes away from the town I live in. So we left. We got there at about 12:30. I have everything on my phone, so that's why I'm looking over here. So we got there at 12:30. Got the basic stuff done, you know, peeing in a cup, putting on the beautiful gown that they have, all that good stuff. I got my IV in at 1:30, which sucked. I mean, it's been a week, and I don't know if y'all can see my arm. Still got a nice, lovely bruise. Didn't pass out, but it definitely got lightheaded. They started the Pitocin. I was having contractions every 3 minutes. Yeah, at 2 o'clock my contractions were every 3 minutes, and they were very tolerable. They were not hard contractions at all. The doctor came in and she broke my water at 2:25. I was still between 2 and 3 centimeters, which was about the same that I was when I first came in, so 2 to 3 centimeters dilated. At 3:15 I had my Pitocin increased from 6 to 9. She said that it was a good sign that my contractions were so consistent at 6, because they can increase the Pitocin up to 42, so I was happy with that. They increased in intensity, but they weren't getting close enough to satisfy the nurse. So at 4:30 I had my Pitocin increased from 9 to 12. At 4:45 I had to lay on my left side due to a decrease in the baby's heartbeat. The baby was not liking me sitting on my back or laying on my back. I tried sitting up and laying down, and she didn't like either one of those positions. Um, I got my epidural at 6 o'clock. They checked me then. No, they checked me 30 minutes later. And I was almost, she said I was pretty much a 6 and 30% effaced. And when I did get my epidural, I just naturally have a low blood pressure. My baseline is low. It's usually like 90/50, somewhere around there. And when I got the epidural, I guess it decreased my blood pressure even more. So I don't remember what medication it was, but they had to give me some medication in my IV to stabilize my blood pressure and help bring it up a little bit. Let's see. So yeah, I was checked at 6:30. Was almost 6 and 30% effaced. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this before. I really love this hospital. It's a great hospital. However, this time around, they were severely short-staffed. There was a lot of departments that usually they just had to close down, like the nursery. They didn't have enough staff members to work the nursery, so you couldn't send your baby off to have them watch the baby, which I wouldn't do anyway. I'd rather have the baby with me, but the nurse told me there were several other people that wanted the nurses to take the baby for a while so they could get rest, and they were like, sorry, we don't have enough members for that. We don't have enough staff members. So anyway, they started getting pretty busy at this point, and after that last check at 6:30, they didn't check me again until 8:15. The nurse was like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and check you and see how far along you are. And my doctor had come in at that time. So she goes, okay, great, good timing. I'm just going to go ahead and let your doctor check you. So my doctor came in, checked me, and she's like, oh, okay, you're complete. You're ready to push. And I was like, really? Awesome. So some point in time between 6:30 and 8:15, I hope this is not too shaky, I dilated completely and I was completely effaced. So they got the tray set up and everything, and it was about 8:30 when I started pushing. But hold on, let me backtrack. Yeah, when she checked me and she said I was complete, she wanted me to do a practice push. So I did. She's like, okay, go ahead and push. Let's see how far you can bring the baby down. And I pushed, and I ended up peeing all over my doctor. Yeah, that was fun. And I had epidural in, so I couldn't feel anything. And they were supposed to at least do an in-out cath before I started pushing, but they were so short-staffed, I guess they forgot or didn't have time to do it. So anyway, I could feel, like, I could hear it coming out, and I was like, I know that can't be water. My water's still coming out. I was like, do you want me to stop? And she's like, no, just keep going. Apparently she's been peed on before because it didn't really bother her. So I stopped pushing the practice push. She said I brought the baby down a lot. So then they got the tray and the table and all that good stuff set up, and then 8:30 I had a contraction. I pushed. I pushed for 3 contractions. Each contraction I would push for 10 seconds, take a break, push again. So each contraction I pushed 3 times, and I only pushed for 3 contractions. And she came out at 8:34. So I started pushing at 8:30. She was born at 8:34. So I only pushed for a total of 4 minutes. The doctor said that I did tear, and I honestly think that it was because she wasn't expecting me to be able to push as well as I did, so the baby came out a little too fast. I ended up getting 5 stitches, which, whatever, I've torn before, so was not really that big a deal. Yeah, but she came out. She cried a little bit. They placed her on my chest, and I put my finger in her hand, and she immediately grabbed onto my finger. and she was holding my finger for a while. They took her and, they did all of her tests. She got a 10 out of 10 on her APGAR. I think that's what that's called. I don't know. Everything turned out really, really well. She was 7 pounds, 6 ounces, 20.5 inches long. She did have, she was tongue-tied when she was born. I'm going to have to look this up because I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly. The frenulum, this thing on her tongue was tied, which my first daughter, her tongue was tied too, but it wasn't as bad. So they had to clip her tongue, and she didn't cry at all, which was awesome because I was really worried about that. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to get that done, but anyway, yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, everything went really smoothly. The only complaint that I have is after she was born, they put her in the warmer. They said that her baseline temperature was a little low, so they wanted her to stay in the warmer for a while. And they left, and they said they would be back to give her a bath, and then I could feed her. Well, they ended up getting so busy, they forgot about me, and I did not get to hold her and feed her again for about an hour and a half later. So I was a little aggravated about that, but she wasn't crying. She was just laying in her warmer, sleeping peacefully, so it wasn't like she was screaming at the top of her lungs, because I would have gotten her and just fed her anyway. And I can't really get too pissed off. I mean, there's only so much, I think there was like 3 nurses in the entire hospital, and the ER had sent somebody in labor to the labor and delivery room and forgot to tell the nurses that she was waiting outside the door, because you have to be called in. You have to push a button. It's like an emergency lockdown thing. Anyway, they have to push the button in order to let you in. So she was like in labor, sitting in the wheelchair for like 20 or 30 minutes before they actually took her back. So I felt really bad for her. But that was pretty much it. After I got feeling back in my legs from the epidural, we got to go to the recovery room, and we stayed for 24 hours, and then we were released, and everything was good. When she left the hospital, they said that she was a little jaundiced. I've been putting her in the sun maybe once or twice a day for little bits of time here and there, just so she can kind of get rid of that jaundice. She has her first doctor's appointment tomorrow morning. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That is all for my labor and delivery. I do plan on doing a few more. I have quite a few more videos that I'm going to try to get done. Hopefully I will have time. I'm actually surprised she's being as good as she is. She loves to be latched onto her mother. So anyway, I guess I will give you a quick glimpse of her so y'all can see what she looks like. Not that y'all haven't seen that video already, but it's going to be time for her to eat and change her diaper again anyway. Say hi, YouTube. I'm sleeping peacefully. Not gonna say hi?